Everyone, it's Joric. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day. This video, I want to show you something that is a rare attraction in Lisbon. It's actually being able to go into Lisbon's underground and see some ancient history from the Romans. So here goes. I'm going to show you the map. This is the downtown area of Lisbon, the Baixa area. And only a couple of dates, usually in April or September every year, they allow people to get in a queue on a street and go down into the underground area where they found some old Roman ruins. So let me tell you about it. You have the 1755 earthquake, the fire, as well as the tsunami takes out much of Lisbon and this lower area of Lisbon. As they were going through and the reconstruction and trying to figure out how to rebuild this area of the city, they stumbled upon these ruins. And as they were looking at them and what they found later here in the 18 and 1900s, been able to date back to what looks to be first century Roman architecture. So if you're lucky and you're available and you're able to get into one of these exclusive dates, you can get in line and go down. And I want to show you the experience from going down into this area. It's kind of a little hard to get down into because you're literally, it's almost like going down a manhole cover in a street. It's a small area to get into. Once you're down there, you're able to take in and see something that 99.9% of people in Lisbon or walking above you don't even know exists or will probably never get into to see. But you get to see this little labyrinth similar to, let's say, the catacombs in other cities in Europe, where you get it's kind of claustrophobic. So if you are claustrophobic, it may be something that you pass on if you have the opportunity. But if not, you're able to walk through and see what life was like in Lisbon 2,000 years ago, which is pretty cool. It's amazing to see what is available and what type of architecture the Romans had at their disposal. And it's also, I think about, okay, everything is above ground and where things are and where there might be flooding issues and whatnot in that area of the downtown. And then I think of, okay, well, back in Roman times, ancient Roman times, this was, I guess, at sea level. So it's interesting to kind of be down there and think about as you're walking through and taking in, okay, well, this is where the entry of the port area was, and to think of the people that walk through and the commerce that took place in this particular area of Lisbon. It's pretty amazing and awe-inspiring. I'm going to put a link in the description of where you can find information on tickets. We found, just because when we moved here, we had in 2019 we already missed the date in September or dates that they had available. So we put it together for the next queue, which I want to say was April of 2020, which didn't happen based upon the pandemic. So we just kept track of when will this be available, when will it be available, and then once we had heard that it was available, we went and got the tickets to be able to attend this event, because they only allow so many people in. And as you can see from where I showed in the map earlier, there's a certain section. I mean, it's a regular street that they closed down for people to be able to go in and take a look at this Gallerias Romanus, as it's called, and then go up afterwards. I'm short, so being short, or I'll say under 6 foot, it didn't seem claustrophobic at all to me or the small group that was down there. If you're a tall person, let's say 6'4" or taller, you're going to have to kind of lean over and get through entryways and whatnot. It may be something where you're kind of leaning or ducking your head more than the rest of us. But it was a great experience, and it's also something that you don't get to see often. Now, the curator that walked us around, which it took 20 minutes tops to go through this and to get the discussion of what Roman life was like in Lisbon at the period that this structure was built and being used. they were saying that within a couple of years, they're doing some renovation work to a building adjacent to the street, that they're hopeful that they will be able to remodel and renovate to where more of this might be open to the public throughout the year. So more than just a couple of periods when I think they have to go through and clean the area and make sure that there's not much water. There was water there, tennis shoes got a little wet, but no big deal. But I want to say due to concerns with tides as well as some structural concerns in the Baixa area is partly why they only make this available a couple of times a year. But the hope is that maybe by 2020, late 2024, 2025, you'll be able to access a building next door, which also has some preserved items, and then you'll be able to access this area, this underground area from that building. I will say, again, check out the description. I would be mindful if you happen to be in Lisbon around these times, or if you're living in Lisbon, or if you're thinking about moving here, definitely check it out. I think this is something that not everyone gets to see. It's not going to show up on TripAdvisor or other websites, but it is a very cool hidden gem within the city. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch my videos, and enjoy your travels.